Have you ever lost something you thought was your whole life, only to realize later that it wasn't the end, but the beginning of something greater? Sometimes, when one door closes, another opens, but in the moment, we only see the darkness of what we've lost. This is a story that will show you a better path. There was once a young man named Arjun. He grew up in a small, dusty town where dreams were often small and survival was hard. His father worked as a school watchman. His mother stitched clothes for neighbors to earn a few extra coins. Money was always short, but their house was filled with one thing: hope. From a young age, Arjun carried a dream in his heart to become a teacher. His father used to say, "Beta, wealth may fade, but knowledge stays forever." Those words shaped him. While other kids played cricket in the streets, Arjun would sit by a broken lantern, bent over borrowed books, copying notes on scraps of paper. His friends often teased him, "Arjun, why do you study so much? You'll never leave this town." But he only smiled and said, "One day I will stand in front of a class. I will teach, and my students will become more than I ever could." Years passed, and through sheer grit, Arjun topped his exams. Finally, his dream came true. He was offered a teaching position at a government school in the nearby town. The day he received his appointment letter, he ran home barefoot with excitement. His father held the letter with trembling hands. His mother wept tears of pride. That night, they cooked their best meal with whatever they had. For the first time in years, the small house felt like a palace. Arjun threw himself into teaching with all his heart. He didn't just read from textbooks, he told stories, acted out lessons, drew pictures on the blackboard. His students adored him. They laughed with him, learned from him, and slowly their grades began to improve. Parents would whisper in the village, "Our children are lucky to have a teacher like him." But life, as it always does, tested him when he least expected it. After a year, a new principal joined the school. He was a man of rules, not of hearts. For him, teaching meant discipline, silence, and nothing more. One morning, he walked into Arjun's class unannounced. Arjun was in the middle of explaining fractions using pieces of fruit, making his students giggle. The principal frowned. After class, he called Arjun into his office and said coldly, "This is not a circus. You are not here to entertain children. Follow the rules or you won't last." Arjun was stunned. He tried to explain, "Sir, they learn better this way. They enjoy it and they remember." But the principal shook his head. "You are young and foolish. Stick to the textbook. That's an order." Arjun obeyed at first, but he couldn't change his nature. He loved teaching with passion. Soon, complaints piled up. The principal called him careless, unfit, undisciplined. And then came the final blow, a letter of termination. "Your services are no longer required." Arjun held the letter in his hands, his chest tight, his breath shallow. His whole world collapsed. Teaching wasn't just a job, it was his life's purpose. He walked home slowly, his legs trembling, the letter crumpled in his fist. That evening, his mother asked gently, "What happened, Beta?" Arjun didn't reply. He just closed his door and sat in darkness. Days turned into weeks. He stopped going out, stopped talking to friends. He felt useless, broken. At night, he whispered into the silence, "Why, God, why close this door? Did I not work hard? Did I not love teaching? Then why take it away from me?" He thought his life had ended before it even began. But sometimes, the end of one path is only the beginning of another. One evening, aimlessly walking through the town market, Arjun heard giggles and chatter. He followed the sound and saw a group of ragged children sitting on the roadside. They were eating scraps of bread, but one boy held a torn notebook. He was trying to read a word, struggling, while the others listened eagerly. Arjun's heart ached. He walked closer and asked softly, "Do you want to study?" The children hesitated, staring at him with wide eyes. Finally, a little girl said, "Bhaiya, we want to, but schools don't take us. We don't have uniforms, books, or money." At that moment, something stirred deep inside Arjun. The door he thought had closed forever suddenly revealed a new path. The next day, Arjun returned with a few old notebooks and pencils. He gathered the children under a large banyan tree and began to teach. His voice, once silenced by rules, now flowed freely. He wrote letters in the dirt, told stories, taught numbers using stones. The children's eyes sparkled. Their laughter filled the air. Word spread. More children came, sons of laborers, daughters of vegetable sellers, kids who had never stepped inside a school. Soon, there were 20, then 30, sitting cross-legged under the banyan tree, waiting for their Master Ji. Arjun's heart healed with every lesson he gave. Parents began to notice. Shopkeepers donated chalk, neighbors gave old blackboards, and slowly, the banyan tree school grew. Months turned into years. Arjun never returned to the government school, but he built something greater, a free learning center for underprivileged children. He named it the Open Door School. One day, a reporter came to see it. Children surrounded Arjun, calling out, "Master Ji, Master Ji!" Their faces shone with joy, their notebooks filled with dreams. The reporter asked, "Arjun, you once lost your teaching job. Didn't that break you?" Arjun smiled, his eyes moist. "Yes, it did. That day I thought my life was over. But now I know if that door hadn't closed, I would still be stuck in a small classroom, teaching by rules I didn't believe in. Life closed that door to open a bigger one that led me here to these children. Sometimes rejection is just redirection." The children cheered, hugging him tightly, and Arjun realized the truth. The dream he thought he had lost was not lost at all. It had simply taken a better form. So, my friend, remember this. When one door closes, it doesn't mean your story is over. Don't stand crying in front of it for too long. Look around, because somewhere another door is already open. Life never takes without giving. Every ending is secretly a beginning. If you found wisdom in this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Life Lessons Library for more inspiring tales.